Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Today, we're going to start our official countdown for the 75th anniversary for the Astronomical League. So we are at T-minus 11 and counting. So if you didn't know that this was our anniversary year, you should have been reading your reflector. On page 16 and 17, we have Chuck Allen, who's the vice president, write this great article with wonderful images, courtesy of Sky and Telescope, of our great leaders and people who helped form the league as we know it. And so if you haven't had a chance to peruse through your copy or your digital version, please make sure you do that. And then also we kind of double whammied you because I did on my full steam ahead on page 6 and 7, that full steam ahead, I actually read some of the history that was put together in the late 90s and 2000s and was just amazed. So if you read my article, I kind of give an overview of what I'm going to share with you right now. So we're going to go ahead and get going on this. But the 75th planning team, we had a lot of fun putting this together. And it was John Goss, past president, and Chuck Allen, the vice president, Maynard Pittengree, who's actually the executive secretary, and myself. And we've been sending information back and forth and ferreting out history, even with the historian and with Mitch and everybody. So we've got these great conversations, and we had some great illuminating and fun, interesting things. So this year, when I put the calendar together, I thought, wow, let's turn the calendar into something that will show everybody what we're doing every year and maybe some of the great mile markers that the Astronomical League has. So when I put the events together, after I put in all the data into the squares, now you'll look at this and go, oh, there's only a few things at the beginning of the year. Well, wait till you get halfway through the year, when all the conferences that we've had through the years, you're going to wind up having, by the time you hit November, every square of trivia is going to be brown. It's going to be some fact about our history. But right now, when I just to talk about how we want to go ahead and integrate the calendar with what we're doing, is I went ahead and put together kind of a little flyer that we'll show you on the web page that I put together in a minute. But I went ahead and picked January as Leslie Peltier month. Why? Because he was born on January 2nd. And actually, he, on the 19th, he discovered a comet. So we kind of made the conjunction of, hey, let's put Leslie Peltier and comets together. And so all that information's on the 19th in brown, showing that he discovered a comet. He's fairly young when he did that, by the way. And then another great interesting fact that we have is we have Mabel Stearns going in and putting together the paperwork for ratification for actually the 501c3 that you would do. She actually listed the paperwork with the Washington, D.C. on January 8th. So there's a lot of great information. So you want to go ahead and get the calendar. Like I said before, that these are things that have our 75th anniversary logo on it. It actually says it's a kind of a collector's edition this year. And so we encourage you to go ahead and do that. So what I did was I put together a web page that would just be specifically for the events that we kind of came up with. So each month we have, we're going to put together a flyer. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to get there. The link will be provided on the page below. We'll go ahead and add that to the bottom. And we'll just show you how it is. And I know there might be some typos, so don't email me typos. But just enjoy the information. I put it together, myself. I'm to blame for anything that is accurate or inaccurate. Is all on me. So anyway, so we're going to go ahead and take you to the 75th anniversary webpage. All right. So we now have the first slot that you have there. You can see that you can go ahead and order the calendar directly. So if you click on that calendar, it will take you straight into the web store. And if you scroll down there, you see the Horsehead Nebula. There you go. Just go ahead and order your copies there. And like I said, there are going to be links to what we're going to be doing each month. All right. So now we're going to go back to the January 2020 flyer. See where it says 2021, Leslie Peltier and Comets. If you just click on that flyer, you will be able to go in and see where it says January 2021. You'll be able to print this out in case those that still like to do things like that. I do. I'm a kind of a paper person. So I'm just going to hit some highlights since we're here. Let me just kind of show you how I was thinking here. So we've got Leslie Peltier, and some of the key things that we kind of wanted to focus on. We all know that we have the Leslie Peltier Award, and that has been going on with the league for many years. But what I didn't know anything about Leslie. So when I went and discovered things, and I had help from Maynard, particularly sent me a great copy of the 1939 Sky magazine, and I found this little segment that I put in there. I didn't realize that Leslie Peltier was the Carl Sagan of his day. And so at 39, if you see in that second paragraph, it says, Peltier will attend convention. And it was for August 19th and 20th of 1939 at the World's Fair, which is where the AL Grassroots League concept started. And he not only was given a lifetime honorary membership to the AAA of New York, but it says that the famous discoverer of comets. So he had quite a reputation. He actually has continued to have over 50 years of continuous variable star observations. So he really was the astronomer of his day. If you go down, I put a link there to a page that gives you more information about Leslie Peltier. He does have an autobiographical book. And so if you wanted to, when I show you the resource page, there's other links that you can find out more information about this gentleman that we have an affinity towards in the standard and the leadership he showed basically as the great astronomer that he was. I also brought in Mr. David Levy and talk about comet hunters. It's great to have somebody who's with us that is so much into outreach and connecting with people. And so I have him featured here. And we are in the process of looking into confirming with his schedule if he would be able to do some sessions with us, or a session on comet hunting. I believe he may have known Leslie Peltier, don't know for sure, but we'll see how that works when he gets back with me. The great information that I did not know about Mr. Levy was actually got his degrees in English literature. And he wrote his thesis for his PhD called The Sky in Early Modern English Literature, a study of allusions to celestial events in Elizabethan and Jacobean writings, 1572 to 1620. So it's pretty interesting that he starts making references to literature and the authors talking about things in the sky, the astronomical things. So that's a great marriage. It's very unique, and I was very intrigued by that. The main thing that we all know and love about Dr. Levy is the fact that his dedication to astronomy since a young age, but because of that, he's discovered 23 comets. And from one of the biographies I saw, it said 9 of them were spotted from his own backyard. So there is hope for us to find something in our yard. I guess it depending if you live near a Walmart or something, maybe not. But he also has a lot of science writing that he does. He was the science editor for Parade magazine from 97 to 2006. And of course, he is known for his co-discovery of Comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 that was discovered in 93. And then you find out that they projected it would crash into Jupiter, which it did on the 23rd of July in 94. And that was the picture that's listed there. The other thing that I talk about is the fact that the scope that David's got over there actually is a scope that he helped co-design with Explore Scientific and Scott Roberts, who's a longtime partner of the Astronomical League. So I have a note there for Explore Scientific. If you are looking for any type of equipment, eyepieces, anything, mounts, he has anything and everything. They've got great customer service. It's the only organization, only business I know that if you buy an eyepiece and you run over it, you drop it in your dog's water or whatever it is, they give you 100% replacement, and that's just not done in the industry. So as you can see, I have the sessions that we have talked about. Of course, this is a year out and stuff, so things may have changed, but this is what we're looking at. We definitely are going to have our observing program coordinators talking about their programs each month. So you can see here, I've got Scott Krantz for the comet observing, and then we got a few visitors. We've got Carl Hergenrother actually did the NEO program with AL, but he's going to come on board and talk. And then we have Wayne Skipbird from, he's actually a Night Sky Network gentleman, but he actually is a heliophysics ambassador. So he's going to do the comet where you make it and it sublimes in front of your eyes. So it'll be a hands-on thing for families. So you'll want to make sure your kids and school students may want to take a look at that. The recipe for that comet will be in the resource section. Well, we'll click on that in a few minutes. And of course, the bottom left there, you see virtual tour. So I was looking at a way to connect with everybody would be if we had clubs that did virtual tours, that we can go from coast to coast and border to border, hitting the various latitudes, since AL is represented in all 50 states. So anyway, so we're looking for somebody, preferably maybe in the Florida area, in the California, Puerto Rico, Louisiana, Mississippi, anything that has sunshine, no snow, no clouds or rain right now for the rest of us that are suffering with that. We would love to have it's not too late to book a virtual party. I also need one for February. So if you are in the southern horizon, the southern latitudes, it would be great if you could just reach me at the astroleague_steam@cox.net. That will also be listed in the below the video. The thing is about going to the resource page now is we're going to step back and we'll go through. Like I said, you can print these out, add it to anything. But here's the resource page. And as you see, we have the Williaminia Fleming Imaging Award details. And that is a new award that the Executive Council and the Planning Committee put together so that we could encourage women to be, who are imagers, to maybe get more, brought into the main fold, because they're out there, but they're kind of, out in the shadows of things, and they're not really in the forefront. We really want to give them a platform that they can show their images to. And we're going to start receiving the images for that starting January 15th. So that's why that link is here. So if you were to go there, it would automatically take you into the details of that on that web page. It may not be up right at this moment, the information, but you can see that that's the awards page. That'll be up shortly. It's going to be up in a couple of days. As we go down, you will see that there's Leslie Peltier information if you want to do more research on Leslie, because he was a great astronomer. There was actually a great article from the Royal Academy, the RAC of Ontario, or a place in Canada that had a very good biography on him. You will see the next thing is comet activities. So every month there will be an activity section. And so, of course, with kids and students and things like that in mind, there's a lot of them that are listed there. They have basically books. They have some how-to. There's how to observe them, how to see them, things of that nature. Okay, then we scroll down through. There's the two pink ones are actually, the one on there will be the Make a Comet recipe, like I'd mentioned. We have the recipe right there. And then the other one, you print it out, and there's your recipe for a comet. The next one, I will have another video on how to make this comet necklace. It's a really quick, cute thing that I got this idea how to make. So I'll actually have a little short video on that. But these are books that have, I went through most of those. Of course, there's tons more books out there. I try to pull things that were from like 2000, so hopefully they're still in print. Okay, when you get to David Levy's information, he is a very prolific writer, so I didn't have all of his books listed. Some of them are not in print or hard to find, but at least you can find the titles here. Very, very connected writings on everything, and even that one book on the Elizabethan, he has a book actually on that in this list. I actually have some videos after that. This is basically how the resource page will be set up. You'll have videos, other things that I thought would be of interest, and and maybe how to observe that exact object, in the sky or whatever, maybe aids, come like log sheets or things of that nature. So now we'll go back to the page where we have, I had mentioned that Mabel Stearns incorporated the paperwork for the league. So we're going to scroll to the bottom there to the women's section. And I thought, looking through, we've only really had 4 female presidents. We've had a lot of women that have been involved, and there's a lot of holes. So if you are a club or someone that knows or has been a woman in any of these positions, I would love to get your information. I'll be happy to update this and add that in. But here you can see that the editor of the bulletin originally, that we now call the Reflector, was Mabel Stearns. But she is the one that went through and was pushing to get all these groups to be coming together, the different clubs in the area, to ratify the Constitution and the bylaws that they had originally put together, starting back in the late 30s and early 40s. We have a gap because of World War I bombing in Pearl Harbor, but anyways, they kind of got back on schedule back in 46. But they still were working on getting everything pulled together. And Mabel Stearns kind of made that happen. She actually contacted a lot of the clubs to make sure they had enough people to ratify the Constitution to get that to be passed through. So anyway, so I'm kind of excited about bringing, the women involved with the league as we move through and have, all the different editors. I got a few, like I said, a few gaps. So let's take a look at the Williaminia Fleming Award, even though it's going to start in February, but we're going to show you, because you can start getting submissions in January. So you click on the Williaminia Fleming Award image there. It will take you into the resource page. And so when we get to the guidelines or the rules, let's review those, and we'll tell you the dates and the information, all the information. This award is for female imagers. Like I had mentioned before, the women imagers are not really out there, and so this is just going to be a great way to get them more recognition, but the fact that there really isn't anything out there for them. So we have the Horkheimer Parker Award that high schoolers 18 and under can do. We have quite a few young ladies that are filling in for that, but we really needed to fill in the gaps. So this is a great new adjunct to the awards program. So you need to be a woman 19 years and older for this award. And if you look down at probably number 5, it talks about the submission guidelines. So as I said, being 19 years and older, but we can start sending in your images starting January 15th. And those would be, as they listed, I think it's like any 3 submissions you would like to do. If it's planetary, wide field, or deep sky, you can make sure that they're in by May 31st. And we have that grace period to June 7th just to make sure that everything's confirmed, that the images got in accurately, that we've got the right information for you. So we can start as early as in a few days on the 15th to start sending in your images in for this award. Okay. The other part is going in and getting to the form. And the next link on this page will take you to this great PDF file, which my husband put together because I am not this tech savvy, but he made a PDF where you can literally type in onto that form. So on some of them, the forms further down, you might see a segment where you might be having to type in on the second line. It does not wrap, okay? So cut off at whatever word and then make sure you start afresh on that second line. But other than that, everything, you can save it and then sign it and just send it into the link. So we're going to show you that on that form, it also had mentioned it is the email to the Fleming Award at astroleague.org. Fleming Award at astroleague.org, which is listed also down at the bottom of that form. It's a 3-page form because women can submit up to 3 images. So there's a form for each one. So at the bottom, you will see where it says Fleming Award at astroleague.org. that email will go straight into the vice president, who actually is in charge of the award programs for the Astronomical League. So we're going to go ahead and show you that we do have a portal for that email as well. So that will be on the 3rd after this form. If you want to go ahead and straight up there and see what says a form, just fill in. Just below that is the contact. And if you want, you can just, if you have any questions or concerns or want to double check on anything, you can go ahead and contact him directly on that link. Okay. So the next thing I would like to cover is the fact that we have some virtual star parties. The concept that I had was, let's do coast to coast and border to border, because AL is in all 50 states. And so one of the things I thought would be great is if we could get all the different latitudes. And so for right now, January and February are open, and it would be great if we could find some clubs that would not have snow, ice, or cloudy days right now for some of us that are being in this winter cold part right now. So January and February are still open. So if you are a club in Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, California, Hawaii, I'd even take in Puerto Rico, if you want to put in a virtual star party for us to thaw our cold hearts right at the moment, that'd be great. So you can contact me at the astroleague_steam at cox.net. And also at the end of in this webpage, there is a contact form, and you can click on the bottom of that and it sends it straight to me. The spring months are pretty much booked, and those were grabbed up really quickly. So spring we have in June, spring from March to June, we've got Alaska at the Creamers Field. We are going to get an Aurora virtual star party. Very excited about that one. In April, we're going to have the Inside Observatory that's in New Mexico. May, we will have the Cincinnati Observatory, which is historic because it is the oldest professional operating observatory in the United States. So that is going to be really neat. The June is going to be featured at the Dark Sky Observatory. And then August is open. And this one I would really love to have some star party from the state of New York. We're going to celebrate 1939 World's Fair in Fleming. It's in Queens, New York. So we would love to have a club come forward from New York and do the star party with us. The other thing on my wish list would be I understand that there's a great antique or vintage telescope exhibit at the American Museum of Natural History, kind of near the Hayden. And that was where I believe that the history of the AL said we were in the entryway of that. That's where the exhibit was in 1939. So it'd be great to get back to our roots and to the founding place of where we were and the culture that was going on at the time. So if you know somebody who's a docent there, or somebody from a club that actually can go in and speak to those, it would be great to have a live tour of those telescopes. We would just really appreciate that. Here again, you can contact me on the contact form at the bottom of the webpage. The months of September is all about ATM telescope making, and we're featuring Arthur Ingalls and Russell Porter. Stellafane is going to be stepping up and giving us some live grinding sessions, which is exciting. Rob Teeter will be there with us too. But it would be great to have a virtual star party up in that northeastern area, because that's where all the activity was at the 1920s, when all of this telescope making really started getting into the forefront here. So if you are a club in Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maryland, Massachusetts, up in that area, if you want to contact me, it would just be great, because it would tie in really nicely with the northeastern part of the United States and the ATM that was started in the United States at that point. October and November right now are also open for virtual star party. So the states that we're still kind of would love to hear from would be Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. I contacted a few, haven't heard back from them. So we could get a little bit more across the northern latitudes. And then, of course, anything from Nevada, Colorado, Oklahoma. I sent out a few emails there, haven't heard back. Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, maybe Virginia. That would be kind of the middle latitudes in there. of course, it's not hard and fast if Georgia wants to hop in, or, South Carolina or something like that. It'd just be great to kind of have that middle section done. So if anybody would like to take in the October, November, and like I said, we have August open and September. So let me know. I'll happy to slot you in. I will actually make the changes to the webpage immediately. It's very easy to do. So once you let me know, I will put you on the flyer and get you promoted as well. So the next thing is, this would be a great time, if you are not a member of the Astronomical League, to maybe make that a consideration for your club or for you personally. We do have memberships at large. If you're a youth member at large, we have that. And we also have regular members at large. But clubs are usually the way that most people are a member of the AL. And so one of the reasons is because the programs that we offer are for members. And to get there from here and to get some really great training on how to observe, you would want to go ahead and pursue the observing programs. We are going to be featuring them every single month. So what's interesting is that as we go through the year, and each month we're going to be featuring the topic and a lot of the observing programs for that month, those videos are going to be recorded, and we will embed them into the web page. So now when you go to the web page, like for example, the library telescope, Mr. Lynch went ahead and put together a little video. So we now can, if we embed it into the library telescope program, you can click on it and get a great overview of what you want to do. And so we have 75 of them. They are listed in alphabetical order on the astroleague.org website. And so you can head off over there and see them, but they cover every aspect of astronomy possible. So the other thing is they give you booklets, the paperwork, maybe the log sheets that you would need for your observing program. And one of the things that I don't know if anybody knows about, but if you go to the calendar, the back page was actually, thanks to Aaron Clefson of one of the coordinators of all of the observing program chairs, basically gave me this wonderful progression of where to start. If you're a brand new novice beginner, I don't know anything about anything, it gives it to you in the order that would make the best sense, that you would build upon those different principles as you go along. And the funny thing is I've actually sold quite a few calendars to astronomers just on that page alone, because they come up and they say, oh, okay, well, whatever. And I'm like, well, if you do the programs, yeah, but I don't know where to go. And I just showed this to them, and they're like, dude. And I'm like, yeah, dude. And they gave me $13 and we're good to go. They're very appreciative of having that resource page in the calendar. Only $13. So one of the last things we want to look at is the fact that our webpage will take you also into the Facebook page. So those that do find themselves on Facebook, not a lot of people do, but most people do, whatever social media that you're into, our Facebook page here will also have some of these exact videos. Our Zoom messages, our Zooming will possibly be showing up in there. So you want to make sure you like and share the Facebook page of the Astronomical League. And that, like I said, the portal is actually for that little pink little tab that's underneath the 75th anniversary logo on the front page of the page I had put together. So if you don't know how to get there, if you want to look at it before you join it, go ahead. That's a great place to just click on the link and it will take you straight into that page. The other thing is that if you are, to want to contact me for anything, at the bottom of this page, you see that third tab over there to the right, it says contact form. If you click on that, it will take you strictly all about contacting us. So this all comes to me. This whole page was put together by me, so good, bad, or indifferent, it does fall on me, but this will come straight to me. And if you are a club that is wanting to do a virtual star party, let me know there. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, or want to get a hold of certain resources or have resources to add, I'll be happy to put them onto the page. The other thing is if you have a PowerPoint or a video on certain topics that you find yourself giving, or talks you gave to clubs or things of that nature, and they're recorded, if you want to let me know about that, if they're things that we can slot in for the different months by topic, we will be happy to have you. This is everybody. We're trying to get everybody engaged because we only have 19,000 members. So it'd be great to see everybody's topics and things that they've shared, the different niches that everybody offers to this great hobby that we all love. So anyway, so this is kind of it. This is the longer one. This is just the intro, but each month they won't be as long as this. So if you are ready to go, so are we. So we are glad you're here for 2021. We're T-11 and counting. And so we will see you in February of 2021. So thank you for your time, and we'll see you soon.